All right, King's Dream Podcast, where creative entrepreneurs come to be inspired, encouraged, empowered. Today we have a very special guest, a modern-day Renaissance man, many talents, from shooting your favorite Dream Junkies music videos to pretty much almost every single album cover we've released. The man, the myth, the legend, a fine craftsman, a breeder of exotic horses. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Wells. Woo!
Thanks for having me.
You gotta clap with some passion,
What
Eric.
you talking
What is
about?
going on?
I'm clapping.
You're
He's golf clapping.
that was a golf clap. Man, so Sam is a guy that we met back in college in horticulture class. I cheated off of you.
I like that.
It was probably very sinful, more of me than of you letting me cheat off of you. I wouldn't have made it. And then we had some classes together at Cal State San Marcos. Sam was an amazing photographer at the time, and you were doing some high-end video photography, and then you switched it up and started doing video, goofing around, shooting some of the Gallery Drive videos from way back in the day.
Nobody knows about that.
Nobody knows about the Gallery Drive stuff, but the OGs. And yeah, man, like the whole thing just has kind of exploded for you in that you're doing all kinds of video stuff, from food to different YouTube channels to commercials. And I just wanted to sit with Sam, kind of hear his heart on what he's been able to do, and what is it that you do, how did you get started, and how did you transition into kind of having your hand in so many different cool creative things.
Yeah, I basically started shooting photos of my brother surfing. And I've always been kind of open to just taking on projects, not turning things down for the sake of turning things down, being too busy. So I basically just moved through the line. I did weddings for a while. Mm-hmm. I did portraits at family sessions. I did all that stuff and realized that stuff is terrible. And basically like got my chops into doing just random stuff for many years. You know, this is back 2004 out of high school. So, 11 years of just doing random stuff got me to be able to think different about different scenarios and different ways of shooting. Built skills that I think are, my intuition now that I might not have had if I just did exactly what I did. Like I did landscape, I did family sessions, I did portraiture, I did editorial stuff, I did food, I did everything. And now it's kind of like along the way, I've kind of thrown stuff out as I get back into food, and food is kind of my primary thing now. And food culture, how do I get this, how do I capture what people do in the food scene in like a unique and creative and kind of my style.
Right. Now you mentioned something interesting. You said, and I'm assuming this is somewhat of a philosophy, but you said that more often than not, especially starting out, you said yes to more jobs, right? And was that intentional? Was that a philosophy of like, hey, I need to build my chops, so I'm just pretty much going to do whatever I can for whatever amount just so I can build my craft?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like my character flaw, as I say yes to too many things. And now I have to like say no, because I've gotten to a place where it's just too much. And now is the point where I should be focusing and putting my efforts in very small batches. But when I first started out, I had all this extra time on my hands. What am I going to do? Just wait for the right project to come along? Right. I'm going to say yes and learn from it.
Yep.
Either the project is worthless and I learn how to do projects and communicate, because communication is key.
Yep.
And that gives me something. So everything has something that I learn from and build intuition, So I always said yes because I think that's what got me where I am today.
Were you always passionate about every art project, though?
No, I'm not.
Just everything he did with me.
Oh, yeah, everything I'd say yes to all the time.
So how would you, how do you process through that? Because I know, like, for instance, myself and other creators will get jobs that we definitely aren't behind, like maybe what the person is behind artistically or creatively, but we know that it will help us, get better at our craft if we push through and work through the project. How do you find the balance to work through things that you're not passionate about artistically?
Well, I've kind of like divorced my train of thought from thinking that everything has to be my way. So what I'm trying to do is fulfill someone else's vision. And a lot of times it's easy for me to fulfill my own vision because I can see it in my head. I can do it real quick. But for me to like actually do someone else's vision, it requires a whole nother skill set. First, you got to be open. You got to listen. You got to be able to work with them. You got to be able to, a lot of these people don't even know what they want. And just, you got to tease out the things that are gold about their story.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm working on projects where like, it's just like a promo video for some random stupid thing that I don't care about. But the trick for me as like a creative, because it might be different in the music world, or maybe it's not, but I'm producing this content that is delivering a message that projects their brand, and I have to understand their brand for one thing, because everything funnels through their brand, and then I have to be able to make their vision come alive, and then on top of that, I'll insert my creativity, because now I got to make that look crazy cool and awesome. You know, like I did a video for tap water. How am I supposed to make tap water sound awesome? You know, and most people might say no, but I'm like, shoot, that's a really hard thing to do. Yeah. So maybe I should take that because it'll make me way better.
Yep.
So when I get an easy project, it's like, sweet, let's just do these things.
Now, there's two different opposing philosophies, right? As creatives,
for sure.
One is, hey,
question.
this is what I do. This is my niche. I'm the hyper C capital creative.
Yeah.
If you come to me, I'm going to give you what I do.
Exactly.
And you take that whole thing and flip it upside down, and you say, I'm here to add value. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to accommodate you and what your vision is. And I have some skills and I have some traits. Unpack that a little bit. Like, what do you think the two opposing, why is there so much like collision in those two opposing views? Because there's like so many hyper creatives that like, this is what I do and this is only I do and it's da-da-da-da, you know? And you have a very like, you could do anything.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm looking at it from a different perspective. So my whole job is to service clients and tell their stories, right? That's more of like a director, cinematographer sort of thing.
Yep.
But if you're like an artist for yourself, then you have to be unwavering. You can't listen to people. You can't listen to comments. You have to be the ultra creative person that you talked about, right? But if you're producing an album for someone else, you have to make their brand shine, right? You can't like have your brand filter. First it filters through your brand, then it filters through their brand, and it's this muddy, weird thing, right? If you're producing an album for Rihanna, it can't come through necessarily through like someone else. I don't know. Right. It's like you want to make her shine, right? It's not you.
That's good.
So it's all about the person you're trying to create work for.
Right.
But
he who adds the most value wins.
Yeah, exactly. So if the artist or the client goes like, wow, you really made my idea come to life and you made my vision shine and you made me look good, that's at the end of the day, you're a hero, right? You listen to them, you understood what they're saying, you understand like their image and everything, and you made it happen, So I think that I don't know if they oppose that much. I think some people might make them oppose more than they need to be, but for me, I'm all about, creating their vision with my style.
So how do you communicate in those circumstances? Like, say you have a really dope idea for somebody's brand, and like they don't know about it because they haven't been in your field, but they need to go with your idea in order to like create a better vision for their brand, like take their original vision to another level, and you need them to trust you in your creative field. Like, how do you communicate that, or do you not do that?
Well, I think your reputation precedes you first, because some of these clients, like all my clients, I've never done any advertising, so it's all referral based.
Okay.
So my reputation is, okay, this guy is easy to work with. He listens, blah blah blah, and he'll get it done. He'll get it done quick, right? So that's like my brand. That's what I strive to do. So a lot of times when you get a client, they already kind of know that you're gonna make their. If someone told them that, they already know that this is gonna be. That's the process, right?
Yeah.
So okay, this guy's not gonna like, just steamroll my idea with his ideas or whatever. So then second, I look at the project, and you really got to look at like, what does this project need, you know? And then what is they'll have ideas and I'll have ideas. And I try not to have any ideas until I hear all the project, like the specs, what it's supposed to do, you know. And for my business, it's communication heavy, right? It's like everything is about communication. So I have to be able to understand what they're trying to communicate to such a detail that like I can create something that communicates it, right? If I have this idea going in like, oh, I'm going to do like stop motion animation or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then they tell me an idea just because I saw Casey Neistat do it or something like that, right? And they give me an idea and it doesn't fit, and I'm still trying to fit this idea into their idea. And it's like, no, let's just start with the idea, what has to get communicated, and then how can we most effectively do this?
Okay.
You know, is it, you know, a talking head? Is it like stop motion animation? Is it, you know, like a commercial sort of thing, lifestyle based? Is it whatever? You know, there's so many options of communicating that. How do we make that message the clearest and most broadly, you know, recognized?
That's good. Something that I always thought was very interesting is when we were in college together, you weren't majoring in photography. You weren't majoring in anything creative, right? You majored in business. Mm-hmm. Explain like why was it business? How has learning business helped you excel as a creative?
I think my degree in business, which I absolutely did not need, I didn't need to go to college or anything. Probably.
Listen up, kids.
Oh no, I mean, shoot. Like for me, I knew what I wanted to be. I didn't have any other questions, right? I was already doing professional photography and making a good living at it during college. I like paid for it, so I had two options: get like a practical degree for fractions of the dollar at Cal State, or go to photo school and get this art degree that didn't really teach you any practical skills. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, and it was probably gonna make $200,000. So I'm like, in my mind, I don't want to be laden with debt. And B, now that I'm out of school, I recognize how I only picked business because it was the easiest major for me to do, like at the time. But now that I look back, I look like, shoot, I learned group communication. Cal State was all about group communication. It was like their number one thing. Yeah. It was all about written communication, so I can write scripts and stuff like really well now. Mm-hmm. I can, you know, and then also presentation skills, and just business in general. Like shoot, finance and just knowing like micro and macroeconomics and like all this stuff. Like I'm already positioning myself for a possible downturn in 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to be oblivious to all the crazy good stuff that business has to tell you. And I think if you don't have that knowledge, I think you're missing, like in life, a lot of really valuable things. Yeah,
that's good. You said something to me the other day, which I thought was interesting. You said this whole jack of all trades myth is just not accurate to you, right? And again, you started out as someone who did solely photography. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're doing video, and then you're recording music, and you're gardening, and have a food vlog. Like, explain your thought process to me in that, like, you want to acquire as much information as possible, and how do you think that helps creatives versus someone that says this is my niche?
Yeah, well, I think everything informs everything else, right? I think that first of all, I'm really curious. So if you're not a curious person, this might not apply to you. So I crack out on YouTube on nuclear physics, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Just crazy amounts of stuff. Yeah. Like I was looking up aeroponics this morning, you know, like just.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, a bunch of pot smoking hippies know what aeroponics is. But anyway, just growing plants using mist, right? Like, okay. I'm looking that up, looking up like a bunch of crazy stuff. Anyway. All these things, like first of all, learning, I think, constantly learning keeps your brain sharp. Yeah. So that's good. It's not, for me, it's not really like, do I need this information? It's more of like, can I keep my brain from shutting down after like 50 years? Yeah. And plus the whole like 4,000 hour rule, doesn't really apply because there's another book. I forgot. Tim Ferriss references it, but it's like you can be proficient in anything in like a certain amount, like 3 weeks, right? If you learn correctly. So we have the ability now with the internet to learn anything in like 3 weeks, like really well. Like I learned too much about mixing, right? In like a week.
Sam's gonna mix all of our albums now,
right? So,
by Anthony Cruz.
No, but honestly, and then what that did is, I wanted to learn how to record drums for this project I have, right? I know a drummer, so blah blah blah. So I start researching mixing and mic placement, all that stuff, and then now in my videos, all my actual work, my mixes are like astronomically better.
Yep.
So now I can mix vocals to be more present. And I can embed. There's just so much more that I learned. And even if I don't even record anything, all that learning is still valuable.
So a matter of focus, though, how do you know where to focus? Because I would say I think that's most of the main argument for people against being, a jack of all trades. Like you need to put focus into one area in order to properly bring value to that or yourself and whatnot. Like if you're focused, you have a direction, a drive, you have somewhere to go. But if you're a jack of all trades, you can do all these things, but you're never gonna be able to even monetize, let's say, in a specific area.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think you should be a jack of all trades and master of none. You should be a master in one and then know a lot about a lot of things.
Other things.
Right? I don't want to master mixing, that's the last thing I want to do. But I want to understand it, so when I talk to somebody, I'm done learning about mixing right now. I don't need to spend any more time. I know exactly what I need to know, and if I need someone mixed, I'll call Anthony up, right? Yeah. And I don't want to spend the time doing it. I just want to know about it.
And do it good enough.
Yeah.
For what you're trying to do, not necessarily for professionally.
It's definitely it's definitely a tool to learn everything, so that way you can ultimately communicate better, even so too.
Yeah, exactly. So like I know I've played drums for many years, and doing this project with that drummer, I can actually thump out beats and tell him what I want and know what's capable and all that stuff. So it just I think it all helps. But then again, like I said, that's my personality, and some people have the same personality. Other people, like Albert Einstein, just one thing, right? The guy can't even get off his bike to go home, right? He has to focus on one thing all the time. That's just his personality. So if you're that personality, I wouldn't try to mold into something else. If you're just that OCD, all I do is mix. That's it. And I don't care about anything else. That's fine, Yeah. But if you're a curious person and just can't get enough information like me, then this might help you,
Yeah.
I think it goes back to capacity.
Yeah.
Right? Different people have different capacity levels. Certain people are big plate people. Other people are little plate people. They can only do one thing at a time. They can only learn one thing at a time. So I think it has to do with
for sure.
your capacity.
And being self-aware.
And it doesn't make someone less of a person either to be a big plate or a little plate person.
Right.
Sometimes you need where I'll be able to pull everyone together and blah, blah, blah. I'll need someone to do the motion. I can do motion graphics pretty well, but I need someone to do really, really, really good motion graphics. So I'll have him do it.
Yep.
If I need someone to do insanely good music production, then I'll have someone else do it. But a lot of these projects that I do now, just quick turnaround. They're a little bit lower budget. I mean, you're going to see that the amount of content is going to just go up so fast in the next coming years, especially with YouTube, that we can't be nitpicking a project for 2 months straight.
Right.
It's got to be you crank it out, right? So if I know a couple skills on motion, this and that, and blah, 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 I can make that happen in a day versus a week, and the client's pissed because deadline was 4 days ago, So I think creatives get caught up a lot, and they don't meet deadlines, and that kills their reputation out on the open market, because people will talk. I always tell people don't have any buts. Yeah, Sam was good, but he did it a week later. Yeah, he was good, but he was argumentative and blah, 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 right? The project was 99% good, but, and this is what I learned in business school, is that if your satisfaction goes from a 9 to an 8, your referral rate drops exponentially. So it goes from 80% to 30%.
Yeah.
the graph is crazy on this. And you think that, oh, 8 out of 10, that's an 80%. That's a B. That's good, right? That's good for maybe the satisfaction, but your referrals are going to be in a toilet. You know, just think of any company you use right now, and you go, oh yeah, that was good, but I don't recommend them. I don't Yelp them. You know, like, oh, it was really good food, but you know, the blah 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 was cold. You know, it's like you have to nail it.
Yeah.
What do you think the value for creatives to learn some of the stuff you're talking about with business, some of the stuff you're talking about with branding, referrals? Like you said, there's more content there's more content than ever before. There's more tools than ever before. But I come across more and more creatives that are just struggling to get by and just, you know, just like, dude, I'm great photographer, whatever, but they just haven't taken the time to learn and be curious and learn the business side, learn referrals, learn this. Like, what do you think the value of that is for young creative entrepreneurs?
I think, honestly, like, the number one thing is meeting deadlines and exceeding them if you can. Because honestly, like, I don't refer people because of deadlines. So if I've been burned even by a couple days, you know, like, I can't refer, you know, because I don't want the people I refer to be like, dude, you referred this dude, and now my website is down for like 2 weeks and he can't get it done. I'm like, sorry, now I look bad, you know? So even within your sphere of influence, people won't refer you, even if you're not a direct client, you know? So I think getting it done is just meet those deadlines, you know? Well, that'll kill you on the vine.
You even said that when you create, it's not like so many of us are waiting for inspiration. I'm waiting for the moment to hit me. Then I'm going to crank out this amazing video. And you said, dude, I take the video, I drop it in the Premiere, and I just start goofing around with it until it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's where intuition is built. You know, like you know, and for me, it's cool because I shoot it and then I kind of like mentally check like how I'm going to edit it. So I already know to fast forward and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I got a couple clients that are like, oh, how do you get it done so fast? It's like, I already have it done in my head. All I have to do is just cut out the crap and then rearrange. So I think like the worst thing is to have this huge project and this deadline and you don't even like drop the media into your project. You know what I'm saying? Because you're too afraid of it, right? I like to take the things that I'm most scared of and just tackle them first, just so I can get that like weight off my chest, right? So it's like, oh dang, this is a really intense project. It's going to be complex, blah, blah, blah. Let's at least do the first step, just rough cut it, you know, and then look at it. And it's not that bad. And once you do that.
And the more you wait and the more you procrastinate, the harder it is to get to it. So you're like, dude, I'm just going to dive into this thing. And I feel like I've had like at least 3 or 4 of these conversations with creatives recently, like create from instinct. Stop overthinking it. Stop beating yourself up. Stop being fearful. Just go for it. Like, you get to a certain level as a producer, as a cinematographer, as a rapper, as a poet, where I believe like you can't put out anything terrible or whack. Like that's just so beyond you. Now there may be projects that are better than other ones. But to say like, oh, I'm just gonna put out something whack, like. You might beat yourself up about something, but the client might be like, dude, this is lit. Like, this is amazing, you know?
This is awesome.
And we get so caught up in creating for other creatives, right? Like the rapper who's rapping for rappers or the producer who's producing. And it's like, that's not your target audience. That's not who's consuming this thing. And for you, it's an actual client. For us, they're fans. And they're not, you know, worried of the word that you said here rhymes with the word that you used here, and you already used that rhyme earlier in the album. Like, they don't care. Like, does it sound good? Does it feel good? Does it flow well? Sweet, I dig it.
I think, though, that it might be slightly changing.
You think so?
Yeah. Because of social media and, like, certain platforms, like, we have Instagram and SoundCloud. Like, Instagram is where your audience is creatives. Everyone's trying to be a dope photographer. And if you are a photographer on Instagram, you actually have to be a dope photographer to hit the niche in Instagram. So, and the same thing with SoundCloud, your audience are other producers, other artists. So you actually have to consider your art in that perspective. But I do agree with, you don't need to beat yourself up. You definitely need to not try to be perfect all the time because no one is.
Yeah.
Definitely play on your strengths, like learn your strengths and then learn how to just like live in it and out of that all the time. And I think that's going to help produce music a lot quicker, produce film, photographs, all that type of stuff. Like, and we all just need to really just go out and do it. Like, I think that's just natural with our personality style. If you're a creative, it's hard to work.
Like you were saying, like that's totally true, but like you could instinctually, like there's photographers that just instinctually just do super awesome stuff and they don't have to overthink it. That's just the way they think. And like you're saying, like you just spew it out, and if you're either good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad. You can't like make a, if you have bad intuition, then there's nothing you can do.
You can't teach intuition.
There's nothing you can do.
You can learn angles, you can learn the symmetry, but you
people
can't.
have different gifts, and you can't be afraid to fail. You have to go out and try the things that you're passionate about. But know that it may not be the thing that you do for your life in a sense. And there might be something else that you just haven't seen that you actually could be more passionate about that fits your personality more.
Yeah, it could lead to the next thing.
And what I'm not saying is abandon technique and abandon
the
basis of what we're talking about. What I'm saying is
just
like
rolling with it.
Your consumer isn't necessarily the photographer on Instagram. Your consumer are your actual clients that pay you for the work. Right? Your consumer aren't other producers on SoundCloud. Your consumers, rappers looking for dope production. Right? And then their fans who will ultimately, if they keep making music or not, will ultimately pay them to rap. And if it's not good, then they won't pay them to rap. Right? And so I think that's the point I'm making. Not like, totally like technique and like have your chops down. But I'm saying like when we start thinking, when I'm writing a rap and I'm thinking, I wonder what Belief is going to think about this, right? Or I'm making a video and I'm thinking like, I wonder what Sam's going to think about this. Now I might bounce stuff off of you. I might bounce stuff off of Belief and be like, yo, what do you think about this? And you'll be like, man, that's really cool. Next time try it like this, or let's check, but I'm not thinking, like I'm not creating what my target audience to be cinematographers and rappers. That's not who I'm making art for.
And your personality is what people care about. And if you listen to the comments and you just constantly try to fulfill everyone's comment, blah, 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 on whatever platform, that's like the biggest way to be terrible at what you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is to just listen to everybody and you just lost all the things that make you you.
Yep.
It's
good. So in all that, I think just to kind of summarize, I think what I'm hearing, what I've heard from you and what we've talked about a lot is that if creatives confuse this other world of business and just be curious and learn, right? And not be like, ew, sticky business, money, gross, right? But be like, no, let me figure out margins. Let me figure out what am I actually making per hour for this, right? That they'll actually be more successful, make more money. And we're talking literally the difference between a photographer that makes 30 grand a year and a photographer that makes 130 grand a year.
Easily. I mean, legitimately, you can double your price, no one will even care, right? A lot of times. And it might boost your brand from like, because price is like the biggest issue among all creatives. They undervalue what they do.
Beats.
It's great. I mean, you just look at it from an outside in. We think we're creative, so we like take our instincts for granted. But somebody wanting our instincts, how the heck are they going to get it, right? So they're willing to pay for it. Just like they're willing to pay for a really expensive iPhone, right? And if you would have came up and be like, hey, here's the new iPhone. It's the iPhone 10, right? It's only $50. You'd be like, what kind of Chinese knockoff is this, right?
Exactly.
So like the price is a huge determinant in value. So a lot of times you'll make more money by pricing more, of course, right? And you'll have a whole new brand. So you first got to think about your brand. What do you want to be? If you're a low-cost leader, as they call them, then maybe being quick and dirty and getting it done fast and doing it low cost, that's awesome, right? That's part of your brand. If you're doing only a certain amount of beats per year and they're all like premium beats, blah, 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 and that's your style, right? That's the difference between like Audio Jungle and Music Bed. The average song on Audio Jungle is $19. Average song on Music Bed's $400, right? And you have a value and a prestige to Music Bed, right? So you got to think about that. Does that fit your brand, or do you want to be music bed, or you want to be audio jungle?
Yeah.
Like neither is bad, right?
You can be Walmart, or do you want to be Apple?
Yeah,
the Apple store.
Well, the truth is, Walmart makes a ton of money. Apple makes a ton of money, and the people who suffer are the people in between. Really.
Yeah, that's good.
Like there's value in being one thing and being like really strong in that brand, right?
Yeah.
So
I think to take away, I'm hearing regardless of whatever you are, right? Whether you're Walmart or the Apple store, I think what I'm hearing is, I've heard from you repeatedly, is undercommit, overdeliver. I'm saying undercommit, overdeliver.
Yeah.
Right. So undercommit and then overdeliver on a deadline, overdeliver on the quality. Right. You talk about like set a deadline, preferably come underneath it. Right. And another thing I heard from you is understanding what's in someone's head and what's their vision and their brand. Right. One of the the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand before seeking to be understood. As a creative, before you're going into a situation, projecting your view and your ideas on someone, stop, sit back, and say, what is this person going for with this piece of content, and how could I seek to understand and deliver on this piece of content? So
listening is key for sure.
I do have one more question. So, practical tools for business. Do you have any books or places to go, specific YouTube channels or anything to learn the business side of things without going through school?
I think the thing I've learned so much from in the last year is the Tim Ferriss show. It's like one of the top rated podcasts. He's all about efficiency. He's all about high performance, low actual expenditure of effort, right? So he's all about automation. He's all about all these different things. He's got 3 different books that are insanely good. If you just listen to his show, he's got really long form, hour and a half conversations with people, just dissecting how they became a high performer. And, he interviews the greats, like from all these business books and all that. So you get a synopsis. How do you spell his name? Tim, Timferriss. He
wrote the 4-Hour Work
4-Hour Work Week, 4-Hour Body, 4-Hour something else, 4-Hour Chef. It's all about learning. I'm going to listen to that next. But yeah, it's basically you'll have the author of this book that's 300 pages long, and he'll condense it down in an hour for you to listen to. So you'll just be
I like that.
super efficient.
I like that.
Efficiency for me is key, because then you can make more per hour. You can make, you can just not slave away. You can make deadlines and all that stuff. So
cool.
There you have it, Mr. Sam Wells, ladies and gentlemen. Well, how could they find you? Swells Photo.
Yeah.
Is that everything?
Instagram, Swells Photo. My website's samwellsphoto.com. And what else do I got? My blog, slowdowncookmore.com. It's all about cooking, get people back into
Your wife
food
just
culture.
started a blog as well, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be. We haven't put it up yet, but it'll be up in a bit. It's called joyisfound.com.
I like that. A man of many talents. Look for him on some of the stuff I'm dropping with my new album. He did the album trailer, which you guys will be seeing soon, hopefully. Thank you, Sam. This was dope, man.
Thank you.
As always, if you guys vibing with this, if you guys like the content, let us know. Subscribe on the podcast app. Follow us on SoundCloud. Follow me and Eric, and leave us a comment, a review on the podcast app. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear more of. Let us know what you want to hear less of. We really appreciate the input from you guys. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.